You run into Matchday 3. Our Premier League, and there are some very, very exciting fixtures be ever up, especially when your weekend we are your co-international break up. Inti so what Symbia put deal with at the club level. Make sure you end this week well. Then you have the next bare 1-2 weeks to sort whatever it is before we come back. Now, Rich, in Pimpi, the weekend I bought club football and Sunday a Jawako international break, I know there are a lot of goals around Europe. I don't know why. I don't know, but that is the trend. See a koba, I know a sketch kakra. But before I ever kono, I don't know whether I'm going so mamim some boom namin ko if you I don't know why, but that is the trend. And see, we will be interested in betting. That is one very, very good thing. Ubeti me at the atoa as an observation. Now, Rich, in the English Premier League, last time I catch you say, even though you have only 2 games, but out of the 20 clubs in the Premier League, Rich, only 3 of them pay, and after only 2 games, can boast of 100% record. Arsenal, Spurs, and Liverpool. Now, coincidentally, this weekend now, Matchday 3. Already, 2 of almost more 100% record are about to meet. Now, Ayala make us say, a Premier League, or my scripting or more player, Ayala go for Yini. How do you explain? Say, you're Premier League, you have only 2 games, 3 clubs per and 100% record. Yeah, quite 3rd weekend already. 2 of the 3 clubs, have a meeting. So, I'm be sure or more. These are the stories that makes the Premier League sometimes very, very interesting. Say, obetimi I follow. Now, these are the Saturday games, and Mashada, I have pushed the early kickoff game to my last analysis. And people should bear with me. The reason why I did that, and I say, I knew Pepe say by the time I started my analysis, the lineups will be in. So I didn't want to bring probable 11. Abraham met me the lineup live on the show to do the analysis. So we will push that to the last one. Na yetimi at the Athena say na yabefienti quickly. Let's go. Rich, shall we early kick off review? One of the games I'm anticipating to watch the Tottenham Hotspur Bournemouth game. Now, Spurs can almost 100% record to the start of the Premier League. Now, before we talk about Spurs, any Bournemouth game, Rich, Spurs, Nansay na and Kofon or Mufo Modrian so nam away. Make the story of William. You see, William to flight to move or consign I'm a Tottenham Hotspur. Yet, you know what time or sign at Chelsea. This season, there are a lot of clubs are Omafa Tottenham Hotspur and Wajani, including North London rivals in Arsenal for Ebrechi Eze. Now, Rich, one will say Tottenham, F.R. Xavi Simons there. The media is not reporting say they've done a coup d'etat against Chelsea. So we are sitting here. Say Usa, was Musa. But Rich, the fact of the matter is, as at the time, Xavi Simons, F.R. flight with the permission of RB Leipzig, say Oba London. Not between Chelsea and Tottenham. We're behind the final negotiation. No one who club a panel, no one moving. Rich, it was Tottenham that did the business with the guy and they've gotten him. look, me, I have one problem with Xavi Simons. And it's because I have more problem with him. People should understand because he's a La Masia boy. Rich, this guy. When he was 10-year old, come on, already 10 years now, our La Masia. The whole world, he was the best 10-year-old player in He left Barcelona 16 years. Here, also Paris Saint-Germain are promising a lot of good stuff. Scout into Oko Paris. Yeah, can you say me now? Xavi Simons Obeko. Okay. So 16 years he left. Oko Paris Saint-Germain rich say a broken promise. Oh, say a deal. I went to say Paris Saint-Germain or no. Oh, who say obet me akobo first team in them. Into Obeso fear. No, so no problem. Obeso coin or see me come chrome. My PSV. Then he went to PSV. Rich, when he finally went home, he played so well in Eredivisie. And a PSG say, hey, Charlie, I went to say, they're not catching and Croatia and in the contract, Paris Saint-Germain, and then my PSV, no, there was a buyback clause and a Paris Saint-Germain. As a ton, triggers are crossing on turn about back. Rich, Osaba Alpha. And I'm turning my RB Leipzig on loan. Okoye, super performance for Leipzig. Leipzig then made it permanent. And those Xavi Simons is only 22. Rich, wabo Barca, wabo Paris Saint-Germain, wabo PSV, wabo back to Paris Saint-Germain, wabo RB Leipzig. Then he's coming to play Tottenham Hotspur. 6 clubs. So ask yourself, how come Obiani one that says he is super talented, but he seems to be a traveler? Rich, this guy, or issue with attitude.
Okay.
Strong one. Because I think say a Tony Timun them say Oyibo.
Players so dey we nya Tony Tim sa.
It is all balance say onya bimbo yembo mano. Onu benya issues here. And Rich, he doesn't seem to be a hard worker. Madrid. Say be at this team. Without the ball, you are supposed to come and tackle on this.
Jao Felix Mudieni.
Yes, Ryan Check Mudieni Bino.
Rafael Amumon family na
yes, na me bobo because me dey nam yadi. So probably it was a thorough research from Chelsea to have doubts because the Biano me beka say so what the time I see Chelsea preserve Simons na it was too long in the transfer window, but nothing seemed to be happening. Probably they knew, yes, the prospect is there. But, Rich, their due diligence about him, and my doubts were prolonged. But Tottenham are in a desperate situation, Rich. They are in a desperate situation. They don't see Kudus as a number 10. And they needed a number 10 in their team. Then James Maddison, Akopra. Probably for the whole season, say James Maddison, I guess at the twilight end of the season, and Obeba. They went in for Gibbs White, Omenya. They went in for Eberechi Eze, Omenya. And you could understand Tottenham desperation, Kakra, in looking for their number 10. And the due diligence will not be tall as Chelsea. Rich, Omutim is okay without him. Until you understand how these things work and why Tottenham probably will push little harder even in terms of Sikasem, the salary in there. Tottenham will be more desperate to nail Xavi Simons than club and friend Chelsea. So I understand. Now, Rich, in football, I can't say me. Tottenham call it hard. I share Manchester City will be meaningless if at home they don't beat Bournemouth.
Okay.
So who call it yato? Now go City. Now that now fear. Now when to me I said Bournemouth. It makes no meaning. You add Xavi Simons and this is the depth of Tottenham Hotspur attacking Rich. With Charleston, Matthias Starr, Dominic Solanke, Brennan Johnson, Odobert, Kudus, Devan Kulusevski, Naoma Adezavi Simons. So Thomas Frank is also the team now. And so what's in the interview and in the West or Kafa Simons one or say probably Abantene saw a Tottenham Hotspur team in the right direction. And that's there is a place in the team Abantene can come and fix. Washano open asem open the ball now obono. So obeba no obeti baba be adwuma na manedia. He makes Tottenham Hotspur more complete. And you understand Ore friend Thomas Frank. But Rich, even though Bournemouth so from last season on performance and this season the way Oma lose some players now, Rich, you still can't tell me say in this era of the Premier League, one of the most respected teams as opponents are Bournemouth. Into Thomas Frank, Kudus, Richarlison must be careful of the Bournemouth team, Rich. Maybe they've lost Milos Kerkic, they've lost Akani, they've lost some key players. But Rich, and Nuno doesn't give you the license not to respect Ayala in the team now. They are a very, very stubborn side. There is Tottenham nowadays. Kudus, Johnson on the wings with Richarlison on form as a main striker. Makase Mkofobebre, of course, because we are Ghanaians. You hear Kudus, but Papa Sa Rich has started the season so well, and Bono is one of the best. Tottenham used to have a lot of issues with injury, especially with Tomo Center House, but fortune seems to be smiling. Omanya consistency kakra from Kuti and Van de Ven and Obian say when they are fit, no Mubabo born at 100%. They are one of the best center half pair Albania in the English Premier League with Poro and Spencer when the first call up in the English national team. Vicario, one of the best goalkeepers our Premier League name. Now, Rich, this is the team that they come up against. Say we Kerkic or Lucino. And some of the defenders, Mr. Zakani Moa. Rich, I think going forward now, this can't represent a bad team. A team with.
But I mean,
that is a problem. And it's American. So they've lost some key personnel and I'm a team they're weakened, even including goalkeeper Kepa. And I'm a Echono, Lucy Kakaba Rich. No matter what, going forward, especially with Imanasin coming back, with Anto and Semenyo Traveniamo, you know say you have a problem. Because look, a weak defense in the Liverpool share. But Rich, when they came back from 2 goals down, at a point 2-2, that is what they can also do to walk. And see, if you don't find the character of Liverpool at Anfield, wow, we are Ubesho Mubi, almost Ubesho Ubi, but Rich, and we are the way we need game, no. If you don't find that Liverpool Anfield character to overcome this team, they may have weakness. Rich, their strength is always carry. Say Ubetimi any Omabo. So I'll be expecting some goals in this game. Minimum Tottenham will give us one shocking result. I don't know whether it will be in this game or after the international break, but I'll be very, very cautious and go for goals in Tottenham against your friend Bournemouth. Rich, you don't have any excuse. Manchester United. Someone you found also in athletics, you have maybe 4 starts. Which I'm assuming some Manchester and 4 starts to the season.
And the usual to redeem
we last 2 weeks in Colombia, say for me, I think it's a idea unfortunate for Manchester United. I almost first just know when they starting. So we're pre-season now. Rich, I am of a firm belief says that Manchester United and your Burnley match day 1.
And
they would have built on that.
Okay.
And Kaumba built on Sadiano. And to him, you find say Manchester United first game Summa Bonina, Rich were 4 starts. They should use Burnley, especially when after playing Burnley, you have an excuse of an international break. Or when you use Burnley to say, okay, this is the start of your season, But Rich, pressure on this man. Too much pressure.
Was after a game, no, you need a Grimsby for no. So no, I know I'm frustrated, and at the point, no person resign.
Rich, and the Awokan is reflected in two of the graphics Amediaba on Obina Morim. Listen to him here. I am going to be who I am, and that's why I have the passion that I have. So here he is speaking as Obia Onimne. Now Ojino Woody, Rich. After this quote, he switched to this. Sometimes I want to quit.
He's frustrated.
Sometimes I want to be here for 20 years. And it tells you about Obi and Ojin Woody. But Rich, what better situation be more? Autonomy adrenaline. And Unim Diokume. Now, one of the pressure on him, especially in the context of English football, is this story coming out of Kobe Mainoo. And I repeat these things. Now, Sky Air report said Kobe Mainoo asked to leave Manchester United on loan. Manchester United have no intention of allowing him to go on loan. They want him to stay and fight for his place in the team. Now, Rich, there are suggestions. People have said, even in the game against Moses Grimby.
Grimsby.
Me starting me mean for me to come to me to
40.
Me dey here. Remember, you know, maybe I want to make first I know more way. Rich. People were saying, say, look, you have a certain way of playing, but you've come to Manchester. So Ujini say the materials now one and fit it into a tray back now. Rich, there are many ways to kill a cat. Switch kakra, say sound, let it suit the players. Then see how you can go with it. Now, Rich, one of the suggestions is this. And so, why now you saw in a 4-2-3-1 there? Then the issue of say Kobe Mainoo and your baby engineer because also competing with Bruno Fernandes probably will be a soft issue.
And that also the Kobe Mainoo as I'm the some am kind. So tricky kakra.
Good.
To accommodate the boy.
Good. So you see this lineup. Then you have your goalkeeper. You have a back four.
Simple.
Back four, no. Look, many so say Patrick Dogu will have a problem and say I want to leave if so play position with look sure. Many so. Say Mazuri on it dalon mo be play position. It is there for them to fight for it. Delete Euro, Harry Maguire and the other center has no more team. They will have to fight for the two positions. Which what this give you and say you now will have the opportunity to play one of Casemiro or Ugarte as a number 6. Then Kobe Mainoo as one of your best, brightest midfielders who is young and the future of Manchester United to have a number 8 position to play. There are some times, if a game are rich, you want to have more attackers. You can say, oh, Kobe, now some more games in me. But this game, I will need Bruno Fernandes even as my number 8 and add another number 10. What it means is that in this formation, Rich, Kobe Mainoo will have more playing time. And see, I don't know whether sometimes coaches must be so rigid with almost structure where they can solve a certain problem with some tweaks. Rich. This is okay. That is very much okay. Look, even if Benjamin Sesko you push one of Cunha, you bring Ahmad. Like this give you the opportunity to have more offensive players and reshuffle them the way you want to, rather than having an additional defender. Then any more for a lot of flexibility in terms of Omunya playing time. But Rich, you know say Amorim, and he is going to come with this in any game. Remember, he's going to come with delete Euro. Shaw, then Dogu there with Dalo, Casemiro Fernandes, Imromo Matias Cunha, then Sesko. Probably maybe after the international break, which will also be after the transfer window has closed. You know, Rich, maybe after your placing now, one that's okay. Your real transfer window now, probably you go back to what we are suggesting. But the enemy say, and that will be too short for him to go back and say me normal. So we are expecting him to go in with this, which the expectation of the football world and the fans and the people Old Trafford and they say it is this team you are going to beat.
Then Ayala, you see, so game beer, open so the tricky formation. This is the
it should be the easiest game
because this is Bali Old Trafford.
Yes.
At least what they are trying the first half. Just try it first half, the beer feedback. I'm not the Okan. What do you mean track back?
So no, you're different
because it's not a defender.
And two born a wing back.
And
so I'll share one. Or born a wing back now. There are sometimes or you are not getting into offensive position. Because you need to defend and go Hey, Rich, one of the most difficult positions to play a wing back. So we a defender, so we a wingo, you are staying between being a defender and being an attacker.
And who goes away or the ball is just so
now it's not easy. But whether Amorim, whether problem, whether toxic, Manchester United must beat Burnley today. Rich, somebody to me and say Burnley, yeah. And then someone else say, probably we are seeing it from far from where Sisi Ayaya won. Rich, Newcastle colleagues. And Matisse Uriah Fred Eddie Howe Eka the start of the game is going to be very, very important for us. And I all refer to Lisa. I invested so much in good players. Now, Ellen Road there, Oko will be a pay because the stadium is full of emotions, and we will need to use that emotions this weekend. But before we zoom into our game, Rich, they've also made a certain step, which for me probably a what domino effect on other issues are on what to resolve. Issue be na make one for omo share YouTube in share TV now. I think that they've seen the issue I'm going to talk about. But for more radio, Rich, team here Newcastle finally enya striker. And enya Obia says Stuttgart Abrantia your friend Nick Watmadi. This guy, Rich, Bayern Munich had the 3 bids and they called Stuttgart. All of them were rejected because of Mrs. And now I know Kasi. So Uko Germany, Rich, even in the German national team, he is the first striker to be called by Julian Nagelsmann. One day we will come and talk about his story. And it is a shocking story that has happened, Rich, even less than 1 year. But Rich, the emphasis and they say, with Nick coming in for 60 million plus 4 million add-ons, we are talking about pounds, so you can convert it into euros. Rich, I think this give room for the Ishak issue to be solved. Because Makase, they are not Newcastle air trainer, they say, if they are able to get a replacement, Rich, it will be total madness. So one replacement for Obi say Ishak. Now Opesoko, Mesika Eba is in the region of 120 and allow him to stay and waste. It doesn't make any sense, especially with Newcastle, Rich, even with the Arabian money, because of financial rules. I want England in they are still suffering on their books. So how can you weigh around 65? Rich, the 120, 130, nothing 65. The film they are carrying for somehow. Then look how you go on with Otim. Saying he has come. Rich and then Tia say, Abantia for the Jolinton, Epra, when you're growing. So we are expecting Ramsey to play. Then of course, Yepra, Anthony Gordon could be red card. And also Entimi Embo. So Usula and Ebe started as the center forward for Tima. You're finding Newcastle with Ramsey said Makano. Ebe Ram for Jolinton. Their candidate, we are expecting it to be the same. Ishia Tima, you're finding Liverpool. The only thing that stands against Newcastle game way, and they said they are going away. And Rich, Leeds United is one of the traditional teams in the Premier League. So Alan Road now almost supporters this is so muye dede. Now Enyoma Ekoye because they are enjoying inspiration from supporters now. Rich, it can be very, very difficult for you. But I think these are some of the games Newcastle are good at, especially under Eddie Howe, any or more Arabian investors. So a double chance for Newcastle and probably an over 1.5 game that will complete the Saturday games. Ochina, Rich, there are some interesting games. One of them is the Villa Crystal Palace game. A game be as a Asano Chameleon Taribi Unai Emery at home against Oliver Glasner. Rich, the only thing I am a game with for me predict say Aston Villa a 55% chance the Europe midweek in a Crystal Palace boy.
Oh my bread.
Yes, and they are not used to that. And yet team a table Europe, and see a new experience among the players and so we are share 1-0 of you and we come on nil away and the qualification and it has been a tight game for them and they've played all their best players within that 2 weeks now about Europe. I think say another game a coma Villa Fonica Krebi. Look, West Ham to against Chelsea. And they are unfortunate to go to Nottingham Forest in their next game. I think Nottingham Forest will beat them again. Yes, I think Nottingham Forest will beat them. Rich, the last time I City called Brighton home, Hokobo was our stadium. Rich, they were beaten 2-1. Now, City under the two Peps, in here reaction after their 2-1 with Tottenham. And Rich, they must find solutions. Since always City team number, they have a lot of good players, but Rich, so what share the two lineups are Pep Ediabo season so far? He still doesn't know his first 11. Brighton beat me how I dream debut. I'm telling you, Rich. Rich, it's going to be a difficult game for City. Very, very difficult. These games has always produced goals. I think it's already the last 2 times on my bar. They are producing goals, 3 goals. And see, the caveat here and say, you were almost in Pempe, almost to Rich. Almost that's City. So they will at least go for double chance City because OG City team need it. And Rich, they are trying to come back to see what City end of this season on the ball. But they are sure say in games like Brighton and Hove Albion, goals will come from both teams. And see, Mr. based on baby Awujina. So what does you City there? Because look, the last time I City boy, first game no boy, I'm Bernardo Silva. Second game, they changed Bernardo Silva and played Ryan Cherky. Second half, and a purpose why mistake. Oh yeah, the captain when the team he brought Bernardo Silva. That is the reason why in this third game, they expect to say Bernardo Silva will start with Reinders and Nico Gonzalez, Ewo Fifi, Doku Bob Haaland, the next year there's no problem with it. Which me I will tell to Omwa Omakasa look, a Misika made 2 games so. And it's a City in Chile and say, this is them this season. I wait, especially game where it's a home game. I away game. I will not worry myself whether City is going to beat Brighton or not. But I will look at the 2 teams and say, oh, these are 2 attacking teams that will cough out goals in a 90 minutes game. Eddie, I'm team in Misika, about 2 goals. So, not my head, I think this will be my last but one. Because my guys, we are then I do the Chelsea one. Then we are beating me a favor. And same break with the Koroko elections and the Rich, big game. And medical who say the Liverpool against Arsenal a big game, a league table. It is either one is going to lose the 100% record. Number I continue, Rich, and I say Babu Munina. On Babu draw. Now say 100% record no, Abu Munina. And that is what we are expecting CBC. Rich. there is a big issue with Liverpool, how they will line up Ochina. And it starts from this video. Rich, it starts from here. Now, Gavin Betch is back. And so, Liverpool team Rich, he is the only known, though and conventional DM in the team. And this Obapeno Obejini number 6 abo. 10 years. Then Rich, Liverpool akoto for vet. Big money. Vet ebano. Dienti oditu mu se ombo Bayern obeba Liverpool. And they say aside Nenesi Kasambe no, Rich, they also promise him number 10 ya odia. And now Liverpool are number 6. I number 10. They seem to be untouchable. Especially for big games. Unless say Liverpool won Carabao Cup, FA Cup game, so Monyema home. But in the Premier League in big games, Rich, Liverpool 6, Liverpool 10. In Gravenberch and Feyenoord, untouchable. But Rich, Liverpool bought only 3 midfielders. So what it means is that say 2 near untouchable. Between Szoboszlai and McAllister, only one can play. Rich, back up the bit me. Nancy and McAllister anywhere. And when they were going away to Newcastle, so go and sort your family issues into one game in the bimpo.
And so Szoboszlai a boy.
And Szoboszlai boy and Szoboszlai too.
He plays so well.
Now, Rich, beyond Mantiamabobo Mudi, that is the reason why I have Yellow to want to leave, because also when you bimbo. And I see the Euro under 21 all the England koje. So he thinks he's had to speak. Curtis Jones is always there because Rich say probia manaba be shema manabe oh me o mama be juma mamo. So he's around. Now Rich, that is the issue with Liverpool. You go to Arsenal and Oriya Feno Arteta can be in this video, Rich. Or say games kesiye bi say the ochorombe bono. Very important to him. Now games are Rich a fair momentum of the league no. Now say utimi bo games we are na osha e convince you say utimi ye. It's one of the boys, you know, they are ready for game. Be say, Rich, and your Liverpool go on a issue with where by when you're available. Arsenal so be. Arsenal problem, then they say, Enra, doing Mikel Arteta interview, no, or see Bukayo Saka, they say no, he will be out for some weeks. Enra, Martin Odegaard are training. Or see Odegaard be training and now who say Odegaard try so be say or to game no obetimi ya Bobby. They are not going to risk him so on timia. But so to me, everybody so can say oh bibia ko so obetimi Bobby dia. They will see whether he is available. Rich. So coach akasasa e just have run rombo. And what it means is that Rich Mikel Merino then steps in Odegaard position, you know. Then without Bukayo Saka in praying, you bring in Madueke or a Hornum. This is the Arsenal team. There's also an issue with Ben White. So Julian Timber, Ebebo. Rich, this Arsenal team is okay. And for Omwa, now as I almost as Arsenal to too many players now. Rich, the depth that Mikel Arteta wanted to build now. Emilio going into a crucial game or Anfield against Liverpool and losing 2 of your best players in Bukayo Saka and your friend Martin Odegaard. Now, without them, Rich, do you look at this team and say a week?
No.
Any week.
This is a solid team.
Any week. And we are talking about team where players we say Trossard on the bench, Eze at your bench, Nwaneri at your bench. It tells you how good that team will be. Arsenal post your training video. Gabriel Jesus has started training. Rich, imagine a time where Arsenal will get Jesus, Havertz, Odegaard, Saka, Nhyira available in one team. That is the depth of our squad now. That is the reason why even Mohamed Salah will tell you, look, no kwani nyamianim die yɛhwɛ Arsenal team there on and how dynamic omo ye any almost squad in depth na yɛgyiri say they are a pure contenders and that omo your favorites.
The only problem I'm with the Arsenal team wingers you know Martinelli and then Madueke omo nyina seems Martinelli good on the ball me obetwe but the final decision problematic.
Yes.
Madueke
the same
I don't know jebo na afei no obesini tiri ase de ball na benachi apart from that this Arsenal team super
marriage sa owo Calafiori na owo Timber na sa say o me wo two direct wingers omo direct omo nya ball no be omo ko manim space ni ade etunim be careful how you follow them with a play no say they be a Liverpool and you see one of our best strength which is omo counter attack. Say we stay we are rigid, very rigid defenders are omo pace omo timi no why one day any bibia say mo timi yes adwuma na mamia they leave the wing play and wait to these players once you make for the are clear enough to say man for man omni Liverpool for the change na ball you can't tell me Zubimendi Declan Rice Mikel Merino can't stand toe to toe with Liverpool midfielders. No, this is the midfield you are talking about. Gravenberch, whether McAllister or Szoboszlai with vets. And I set you up for a very good game.
And your name Murphy.
Now Rich Conor Bradley ba Omanya ninti Szoboszlai be but now he's back. Even in that game he came on until waba fix it. Until Liverpool need problem with Omachile and Omo back line. Now so the medical can so her line up here a happy and a problem war because Gakpo Ikechike Salad here. He say Omo no nim ho no. Omo until Isaac beba no. I bet my predu there. She say and we no dey rich. Achepa no minya this impression about Liverpool and Arsenal games. And is it the Premier League? It's either the Premier League and Arsenal Liverpool. And one person say, Rich, this game has always produced goals. Okay, Andre R7, more time. Arsenal Liverpool 4-4B. We've had games, blockbuster games between Arsenal and Liverpool. I think, say, Rich, where's the baby?
Okay.
Where's the baby? It's too early to predict. Say, Obiadu ni pick. Where you better than way. It's too early. But I think, say, still the main cut of Arsenal Liverpool has always been a game that gives you the goals. Now, Obetimi, I predict you on. Rich, before I met National. Now, say, Chelsea lineup near then.
Chelsea lineup.
Let me watch it from here.
Yeah, me kind of man.
No, you're fine. Come back 30 seconds. Okay, so Sanchez Ewopomu.
Sure.
Malo Gusto Cucurella.
Yeah, back three of Gusto, Chaloba, Tosin, and then.
But so there's Cucurella.
Yeah, Cucurella.
So then it makes it a back four.
So Caicedo, Enzo, Estevao, João Pedro, Neto, Delap.
Okay. Then this is similar to our last game in Anambra. This is very similar to Omone West Ham. No? A league kick-off games today, and I want some kidding. And I think if I heard Fifi right, now I can say against Marco Silva, you don't get the stats now. Omunya against Graham Potter. No. Silva is more difficult coach than Graham Potter. And it's our first 20-25 minutes being a chess ball against West Ham. Rich, they shouldn't have the same thing against Fulham. They shouldn't.
Okay.
So Omunya is a Fulham first goal. Rich, this Fulham team and Marco Silva and now I'm mentioning 5. And they will not allow you to bully your goalkeeper with corners. No, West Ham 5. No. But I think Chelsea must build some momentum before the international break. I want to be a game with you and a game being on me. I shall answer on my international break. And there's one thing I am seeing, Rich. It seems to see the issue of Gatins in Estevao which of those young wingers in the Obe Chelsea team in anticipation of Ghana to Beba no so more competition, you know. I think Estivao is winning Sadiano CCI, and without Kopama, which the coach wants to play the two strikers in João Pedro and Dilap. And that is how Enyoma ABC I'm expecting Chelsea to do well in that game, you know, Rich. And then Saturday, of course, we will sit down with some Osby for a conference. Monsieur,
I Real Madrid my candidate. Kuchopana Madrid.
Madrid will win. Madrid will win.
Barca Barcelona.
Ochina.
We are Ochina.
You ever show with our international break now?
Okay.
Those two games shouldn't be difficult for team and friend. I mean, so I never fight. And then Saturday the Uchumu tie up a bet of what else would be Saturday dear. And one if your games in our and I will take it. We take green. I want take it now. Ow, oh, Nhyira, and I bet womb. It's a say 4 coast Pagina and so far on your BW DF 6F 5 4A. That's the first one. Second one A BW DF 88599. The next one A BW DF 96471. Then the last one A BW DF 9D F5F. Until we focus now. What me alpha? You can screenshot it now whilst you watch it. And I say, Oko Besmakosu Bempana say Akosi _ Ayala. Ewo Exa and I'll come Facebook page Nina unsa ebetimi aka sa course we before Saturday na ofana nyina ya de aye nyoma.
Yemrefie na yemfa fisam no entu